Alright, so what's up guys? I don't really usually make videos like this, not on this channel anyway, but for the past couple years I've seen Iceberg videos and they've done pretty well, so I'm just kind of testing the waters, see how this does. So my videos for the past while have been kind of the cartoon creepypastas, and I'm kind of sticking to that similar aspect, so I'm doing a regular show Iceberg. I'm pretty sure there have been other videos on regular show Iceberg videos like this, and I'm not sure if they're using the same Iceberg as I am, but all credit goes to regular main man. I kind of found this Iceberg on Reddit, so all credit goes to him for the iceberg itself and pretty much all of the explanations, so definitely give this man some credit. But with all that out of the way, why don't we just dive right on in. Layer 1. Regular show is an acid trip theory. Most common theory made up by fans, and it's on the top of the iceberg because of how well known it is among fans. 2 in the AM PM, a popular short film made by J.G. Quintel in college which served as a basis for regular show. The Naive Man from Lollyland, another short film made by Quintel which served as the origin for the character of Pops. Obscure international edits. This is just a general point about the obscure edits done to the show in international versions. Pointless edits are made like changing morons to idiots, despite meaning the same thing. Mordecai the Simp. This point is referencing the infamous simp meme and how it originated with Mordecai's behavior around Margaret and CJ. Planks. An infamous edit where all uses of the word turds were changed to planks in the UK version of Rigby's bodies. Planks is most likely slang for turds in the UK. The death of Pops. The ending to the series finale. Pops sacrifices himself so the others can all live happily ever after. This point is known by fans but is still up there because of the significance. Layer 2. Poorly made regular show toys. This is referencing the terrible toys made for regular show. This includes the figures lacking a lot of articulation and the Skips figure being yellow instead of white. Regular show, 25 years later. A comic book based off the series taking place 25 years after the events of the show. The park was going to be a human zoo. Originally, Mordecai and Rigby were going to work at a zoo that imprisoned humans. There are elements of this from the pilot episode, in which we can see a bunch of cages in the background, which are supposed to be cages for the humans. This idea was shot down by an executive, and Quintel is actually glad this idea never came to be. Power Tower coloring glitch. The first time Power Tower aired, the episode aired with the colors completely off. There's no reason to why this happened. Tecmo dressed as Spike Spiegel. Tecmo is dressed up as Spike Spiegel in Terror Tales at the Park 3. And this is a neat little Easter egg because the actor who voices Tecmo, Stephen Blum, also voices Spike in the English dub of Cowboy Bebop. Layer 3. Benson turning red/purple in the power. Benson turns a shade of red and purple at the end of the episode when he shouts, "Now clean up this mess or you're fired." It's really odd because even though Benson turns red when he gets angry, this is the only time in the whole show where he turns this specific shade of red. Mordecai and Rigby are people. So the guy who made this iceberg was watching an interview where Quintel states Mordecai and Rigby are people, even though we see them as animals. They appear as animals, so we the audience can easily identify them whenever they're present. Skips references Star Wars. Skips makes a reference to Star Wars early in the episode Skip's Story. And this is on Layer 3 because not a lot of people really know this, and also Skips is voiced by Mark Hamill. Benson getting drunk off wings, which is pretty much self-explanatory. Do Me a Solid original ending. Not much is known about this entry. At the end of Do Me a Solid, Rigby was going to keep the videotape he made instead of destroying it. Mordecai never showing traits of being a blue jay. Rigby runs on all fours, eats out of the trash, and curls his tail up like a raccoon can do, but Mordecai never shows traits of being a blue jay. He can't fly, isn't hunched over like other birds, etc. Layer 4. 2 in the AM PM references in regular show. So there's not an explanation for this one, but the first thing that came to mind is that one episode where Mordecai and Rigby knock out Benson and they just drag him around town and they end up going to that party, and Benson pretty much has a spice off with his crush's ex, and then him, Mordecai, and Rigby drink the Mississippi Queen and pretty much go on a psychedelic trip. Either that or just other psychedelic shit in regular show. Rigby's inconsistent egg allergy. Rigby's allergic to eggs and excellent, but can be seen eating eggs out of a blender in a later episode. This is either an animation error or Rigby could have been lying about being allergic to eggs. That's all very ironic because in real life raccoons eat the eggs of other animals. Veronica. Benson was going to have a girlfriend named Veronica in a flashback from Mordecai and the Rigbys. This was cut from the episode but is still present in the storyboards. The Real Thomas censorship. So obscure international edit is on the first layer, but this episode gets its own spot because of how many edits were made to The Real Thomas. There are so many edits in this episode, it's surprising they even decided to air in other countries. Regular show references and close enough. So there's not an explanation for this one either, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It was created by the same guy who made regular show J.G. Quintel, and he voices one of the characters in the new show. And from time to time there'll be little hints and references to regular show. Party Tonight music video, an old music video made to promote the show. Layer 5, Paranormal Roommates, a pilot episode of a scrap series created by Benton Connor. This pilot is conceived as a knockoff to regular show. It was made by Benton Connor, who is a storyboard artist for regular show, and the pilot uses the RS art style. Apparently, this pilot was actually based off a short film Connor made back in college. Unlike the pilot, his short film was its own thing. The short film was lost, but pieces of it can be seen in the Rebel Taxi video, where he briefly covers the short. How strong is Mordecai? Mordecai manages to tackle Death Bear in the episode of the same name. A grizzly bear can weigh up to 700 pounds, so how exactly strong is Mordecai? Is this an oversight by the writers, or is Mordecai stronger than he seems? High Five Ghost Shadow. Despite being a ghost, High Five Ghost is the only main character who casts a shadow. Mordecai and Rigby and the Problem Solvers. The Blue Jay and Raccoon get a brief cameo in an episode of the Problem Solvers. Billy Mitchell attempted to sue Cartoon Network. So there's not an explanation for this one either, but what it means is that Billy Mitchell, the guy GBF is based on, giant bearded face, sued Cartoon Network over this episode that he was in, and his case was dismissed due to him not being a giant floating head, and he was laughed out of court. Layer 6, Future Rigby's Original Fate. There's not an explanation for this one either, it just says really do not research, and that it's just kind of a joke entry, but I looked it up anyway, and what I got is, the regular show movie, Future Rigby's death, which, he was shot to death and he was placed upon the stairs next to future Mordecai, but also the episode where Skips accidentally killed him by slamming him through a table. Spontaneous Combustion, Exploding Lawnmower. This is a rare regular show commercial used to promote season 1. It's worth noting the characters use their pilot designs for this commercial. It's far down in the iceberg because this promo is rather rare and it's unique with the original animation. The Fate of Hugehead. Hugehead's spotlight was unintentionally stolen by Pops in Really Real Wrestling. Hugehead returned years later, only to get sucked into a vortex. He was stuck there and wasn't seen again until season 8. Or rather, his skeleton wasn't seen again until season 8. Unexplained Trees in L.O. Governor. When Pops drives Mordecai and Rigby through the woods, Rigby looks out the window and sees a bunch of trees with creepy faces staring directly at him. These trees serve no purpose to the episode and aren't connected to the British taxi. It's unknown if these trees were really there or if it was just Rigby's imagination. Layer 7. Temp Check. Deleted transformation scene. A deleted scene where Doug was going to transform into the main characters all at once. Margaret's messed up sense of humor, the party bus. In Terror Tales of the Park 2, Margaret tells a really weird story about her, Mordecai, Rigby, and Eileen getting in a bus that makes you older. When the bus goes in reverse, it makes the characters younger. At the end, the 4 make it out of the bus, but they all end up dying because their ages are reverted as the party bus continues backing up. And Margaret doesn't see anything wrong with the story. She actually laughs after she finishes. This is especially freaky because the sense of humor Margaret has doesn't show up again at any point for the rest of the series. It just comes out of nowhere. Regular Hell. This is the name of an obscure VHS tape found by Baka Roboto on Twitter, and the VHS tape is its own thing. Terror Tales of the Park 2, deleted ending. A very dark and twisted ending to this Halloween special that was cut for obvious reasons. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the iceberg. There are definitely some things on here that I didn't know, but there are also some things that I did know. Overall, it was kind of cool to explore and dive deep in a regular show like that. And if this video does good, I would definitely be down to do this on other TV shows, maybe video games, or just other mediums in general. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, let me know down below if you want to see more videos like that. But with all that out of the way, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.